Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is our Rice News analyst, Elder Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben.
Good morning.
It's like you are aware that I've been doing a lot of pastoral work yesterday.
I know you are an elder.
Yes. Good morning, Rufai.
Morning.
Good morning, Victoria. Tundu MK Abiola.
Good morning, Mr.
Good to see you again.
Same here.
Now, the lead story of this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record, that's where we're starting from. Southwest governors, ministers, monarchs urge overhauling of nation's security, demand special protection for regions' economic interests, seek reopening of borders, equal treatment for all citizens, want federal government to use existing laws to check fake news. Yes, that meeting yesterday between the presidential delegation led by the Chief of Staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, met with leaders of the Southwest. And of course, that is the story that is dominating the front pages of a number of Nigerian newspapers, including The Nation, where the lead story is Southwest leaders tighten security, reopen borders. Federal government should implement 2014 conference report on economy, others. While the Guardian newspaper also reporting the same story, Yoruba tell Buhari, return Nigeria to true federalism. Leaders demand equal treatment for all, want action on past constitutional summits, task government on insecurity, unemployment. Nigerian Tribune, expectedly the same lead story from that event. Southwest economic assets need special protection. Southwest governors, traditional rulers demand at meeting with Buhari's Chief of Staff, IG, ministers. Well, the Daily Independent newspaper, the same story, but let's just look at another story on the front page of the Daily Independent. Why 6 million national mass metering program may flop? Yes, with that high expectation that estimated billing will soon be a thing of the past, perhaps not so soon. Well, the Vanguard newspaper, of course, same story, their lead story from the meeting with the monarchs, governors, and ministers. But above the masthead, yes, Igbo presidency in my mind, 2023, why presidency should come to the southeast, Ohanese, palliatives, Lagos, Kano, Abia, on priority list, presidency. Now, the Punch newspaper, yes, Adesuwa has been singing a lot about COVID, but here at home, yes, rise in COVID-19 cases, fears over second wave as states shun safety protocols. Places of worship, gatherings, others dump use of face masks, and SARS protests may be responsible for the recent rise in cases, according to a virologist. Now, the Daily Trust newspaper, this is a story that should interest Nigerian security agencies. 6 Nigerians convicted in UAE over Boko Haram funding, the Daily Trust newspapers. There was no fair hearing. Families of those convicted saying, we are on top of the matter, Justice Ministry. Only diplomacy will work. Lawyers. Yes, according to this story, 6 Nigerians were convicted in the United Arab Emirates for funding Boko Haram. And according to the graphics on the front page of that newspaper, 298.7 million naira, that's $782,000 involved. Some of these guys acted as undercover. One, according to the reports, supposedly a government official. Now, we know where the problem lies. and I think the security agencies should tackle that accordingly. The New Telegraph newspaper, Buni, yes. Why APC can't hold national convention in December, says caretaker committee busy resolving internal crisis. Party leadership, ex-National Working Committee, fight over party finances. Well, if we just look at the foreign newspapers, yes, expectedly, the outcome of the US election dominating. The Independent newspaper of the UK, Bush targets Trump as he hails fair Biden result. That is George Bush, the second, if you will. Praise for good man comes as president still refuses to concede. While the Financial Times reporting the same story, yes, Biden moves to unravel key Trump policies, trip course. Yes, President-elect pledges to halt WHO exit and re-enter Paris Climate Accord. That is expected. While the Washington Post, Biden moves fast on virus and economy. Plans come as Trump refuses to concede. Top priorities: PPE, testing, vaccine, stimulus fund. Hitting the ground running, as Ruben, as you have commented earlier. The Wall Street Journal, Biden charts new course, president-elect sets virus focus. While the New York Times, Biden turns its attention to transition, while Trump refuses to concede defeat. Silence in GOP, aides to President see little hope. Yes, those who thought by defeating Trump, you have removed the bull in the China shop. It's like the bull is now about to act. I mean, what will happen? Ruben, you talked of precedents years ago, where a president refused to concede.
No, but even Abraham Lincoln was the same, because he wasn't on the ballot in some states. So those states revolted when he became president. They completely rejected him.
And it led to the start of the Civil War in America. It was a contentious Abraham Lincoln election afterwards, 3 months afterwards, that led to the start of the American Civil War, because the Confederate states were having none of it. But most importantly, this is what I'm going to say, and we should all be careful. Yes, I'm cautiously optimistic Biden has won. This will start the new wave of what I call Trumpism. You remember the last elections, I mean Obama's election, that Obama came in, and after I served this tenure, or during Obama's tenure, it started a wave of what we're seeing today, a populist movement that led to the Barter movement and the Tea Party. For the next 4 years, it's not going to be that easy for Biden. It's going to start a wave of big Trumpism across the country, no matter how it tries to unite the country. So let's wait for that. And their outlets have started finding that embers. I watched Fox all through yesterday. Goodness me, you need to hear the rhetoric. Really very scary stuff. Fox started saying Biden was going to pack the court and all sorts, that now that the Republicans should attack those 2 seats remaining in Georgia, those 2 territorial seats, John Ossoff's and Warnock's seat, that they're already in those elections that are going to be having in January, those runoff elections, they should attack them. And that's what will start in America. So let's watch out for that. But most importantly, Biden can do the fine job of reuniting
And
America.
even beyond that, we're talking about the Republican Party. Even within the Democrat Party, there are already some chasms becoming, quite evident. Did you hear Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez talking about how she doesn't want President Biden to be pulled to the right? She wants him on the left. And there are people depending on him to remain center-left, but really more center than anything else. So it's just looking very tense for Biden. And the other scary thing is people who support that appalling conspiracy theory, QAnon, have actually won seats in the U.S. Congress.
Oh, yeah. That scares me.
Anyway, leadership will make all the difference. And we hope that President Biden, when he's inaugurated, will be able to provide that. Thank you very much, Emmanuel Ifeni. We'll see you tomorrow. And that's all on the news headlines.